program designed to keep you aware and informed on everything that's happening in the world of faith and family entertainment. Now, I have two disclosures to make right now. One of them is that my lawn guy just showed up, so you're probably going to hear the lawnmower every once in a while. But that's okay, because it is what it is. I'm in my home studio here, and so the lawn has to be mowed. Second disclosure is I put this show together like literally 2 hours ago. I don't know my guest. I don't know anything about her. I didn't get to do any research, but I heard from a source that she's a hoot. A hoot. See, I don't even know how to say it. I've heard of hoot nanny, but I never heard of a hoot. But I figured that's good enough for me. Now, Andrea Holman is a light-hearted, inspirational entertainer, author, speaker, and host of a nationally syndicated show. Her unique singing and speaking style sets her apart from the pack. She's bold. She's bold in life, bold in laughter, and bold in her delivery, which when connecting with a crowd, whether it be in an intimate music hall or an art venue and gathering. Plus, her often shared hilarious personal life stories, which she'll be doing today, brings a softness and a downright likability factor. But don't get her wrong, she has been known to kick some sass. Okay, now, before you write me emails of what I said, it says sass. See right there, it says sass because she's classy and sassy. Andrea, welcome to Faith on Film. Did I do good at just letting people know who you are?
Yes, I think you hit the mark. That's perfect. I loved it. Yes. And I can claim that I'm sassy because I am from the South. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, and raised in an area close to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I get to claim sassy, Southern sassy all day long.
But wait a minute. Wait. I thought Southern was, Southern peach. Well, that's Georgia peach, but that is the South.
That's Georgia. And Chattanooga's pretty close to Georgia on the line, so it's not too far off of that. So I'll take that too. That's right. Yeah.
All righty. Well, listen, what's exciting here is that, again, as I mentioned, I've never met you before. I don't know you. Most of my guests are friends of mine that I call and say, please be on my show. You I've never met. So it'll be exciting to find out who you are along with the rest of the audience that watches the show. So tell us a little bit about you and who you are.
Well, watch out. So, okay, here we go. I asked them if they prepared you or not. So I think they told you I was a little sassy. So I'll control that side of me a little bit today. But no, my name is Andrea Holman. I have been married for over 20 years to my best friend, Luke, my husband. We met at a dance and we became very quickly connected to each other and started dating and was married within a year and a half of meeting each other, engaged within 8 months. It's pretty quick, solid romance, Mm-hmm. And God just sent him to me at the right time, at the right place. And there it was. Basically from there, we have 4 children. We have our oldest son, his name is Cameron. Then we have Ethan, Austin, and our little girl, Brooklyn. So, and we have 2 fur babies for all you fur mamas out there. And one of them, we always say that she desperately needs some anxiety therapy because she is an anxious dog. And she was really supposed to be my anxiety dog when my first child went away to college, but it did not work. And then we got another dog, and we say she hit every dumb branch down the way on her family tree down to delivery. So she is a hoot too as well. So, but that's a little bit about me. I was basically born in Cincinnati, like I said, and raised in Tennessee, and then moved back to Cincinnati when I was around 15 years old, and I've been here ever since.
But what do you do?
Well, for me, I actually worked in corporate life for a long time. I was in corporate till about 5 years ago, and then I decided to take an early break, retirement, as you would call it, away from the corporate world so that we could, have the last few days. I could have the last few days, really a couple of years with my oldest son before he left to college. That was the plan. And that's kind of what we had planned the whole time. That's what happened. And then there was a twist, basically.
Twist in the story.
Yes, a plot twist, which you gotta love, right? You're on your journey. You have everything figured out. Everything's going your way. You've got a plan. It's all coming together. And then basically there was a huge plot twist in it. I had no idea what was happening. And I just kind of had to trust God in my heart and say, okay, I'm going to go with this because this is what you're telling me to do. My husband and I went on a business trip to Vegas, which I went out there with him. I always go out there. Mommy needs some R&R every now and then. Okay.
Of course.
So I gotta go, mamas. You know what I mean? So I go out there about the 3rd day or so. God wakes me up from a perfectly good dream, and he has laid someone on my heart, and he's like, you need to call this person. And I said, like a good little Baptist girl, no, I'm not going to do that. And all day he kind of worked on me. And I said, fine, I'll call her. She's not going to call back. She needs nothing from me. What do I have to offer her? There's nothing I can give her that she needs. She's successful. She's, an author at this point. She's doing her own ministry. I have nothing to offer. I called her, left a message, and in about 20 minutes, she called me back and said, Andrea, I cannot believe that you called me. I have been praying and praying and praying for God to send me someone to help me with my ministry. And from there, I said yes, and I volunteered for an hour or like a year and a half with her. And in that process of serving her, he opened the door to really what I needed to be doing. And she mentored me through that process, through her program she has. And I learned at that point that really I needed to be stepping out of my shell and serving God through singing, which is what I have always been born to do. I was singing from before I could talk almost, my mama says. So I said yes. And the very first song he gave me was Hey Godly Woman. And then he gave me a bunch of songs after that. I created my first CD called Tent Revival. Then it morphed into this. I had something more to say and wanted to encourage and love on others through a podcast called Wake Up, Take a Minute. And that podcast, I use that to really intertwine my stories of my life, of things that have happened along the way, and feed it into a segment where God is wrapped all in it, in those moments that he has laid in my life, and basically encourage them through God's word in that moment that I had by introducing God into it and wrapping him into the delivery of that program. And then he said, write a book. So I wrote my first book called I Quit the Family. And that's really one of those great things, where he just led me right into that path, saying yes and following what he wanted me to do. And that's where we ended up that's how I ended up here at this point, with this new book and sharing a lot of funny stories and how God never quit me.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, let's find out all about that book. All right. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. For a limited time, you get premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, and that's the lowest price in history.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com right now to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you can get my premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, the lowest price ever.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Welcome back to Faith Unveiled. We are here with Andrea Holman, and the reason I have to read this is because, again, I just met her, and I have a tendency of messing up names, so I wanted to make sure and get it right. Okay, so Andrea, you've been a singer, but then God told you to write a book. What is the book all about?
Well, the book is just coming out in print. It's available on August 1st of this year, and it's called I Quit the Family. And this book is a culmination of my life of becoming a mom. every mother has all of these wonderful expectations about what they think is going to happen from the time that they get married to the time that they become pregnant and have children, and all of the little things along the way that you think are going to be so special, and the ooh and the ah that we get wrapped up in, that we have that expectation of things to happen. But a lot of times, people don't talk about the plot twist and the pain and the anxiety and the fear. A lot of things that we as moms go through, and dads too, because you're right there with us, supporting us through the whole thing, and you're living that as well. So it's geared towards moms, but it really is about the family unit, because my husband was right there with me suffering the same way. It's just that I had the opportunity to put all this into words, for myself, and really through a healing process and the journey. The story is really about all of my mistakes and all of the things that I wish I could have done a little differently or would have known much sooner, which would have been really nice, because when you talk to other moms, they're like, oh, everything's great, it's wonderful. They're such a gift from God.
Did you forget to read the manual or something?
Yeah, I know, right. There is a manual. It's called the Bible. You read it, and I did read it multiple times, but there were a few things that was still unexpected along the way.
Yep.
But the moms talk about how, the kids are such a treasure, they're a gift and they're a blessing, all of which are true, but they leave out the nitty gritty. They leave it out. And it's all of the silent suffering and anxiety and fear you go through, all of the expectations that we feel on ourselves, either projected by someone else that we feel or is projecting that to us, or the fact that we have that in ourselves because we are lacking something, or we feel we are lacking something. And I have an acronym. It's really cool. It's, the lack is really the acronym, and it's to listen for God and to acknowledge him when you hear him speaking to you, to let him comfort you, and to know that he is there with you. And that you really have to cling to that. And then my book, I talk about that through the aspect of the different stories. And I have like 4 pillars that really go along in the book. Okay. The first is to be kind. When you have suffered trauma, or to be kind to yourself, when you've suffered trauma or you've had something that's happened in your life, like I did when I was little, and you don't deal with that, it magnifies itself in many different ways, some of which you don't even recognize that you're doing and you're acting out in your own life. And it takes you a long time to work through those processes. If you're lucky, you are able to work through that, and God reveals that to you in a way that lets you overcome that and work through it and reconnect to him, which is, thank God, what he did to me. I was not kind to myself. I was a very angry, protective person. So I parented in anger, and I parented in protection of my kids. So not so much angry at them, per se, but just anger at the world. Like, if you're going to come at my children and I have to protect them. I have to be that protective mom to say, nothing's going to touch my kids. And sometimes that comes out looking like it's a little crazy, and people think, wow, what's that all about? But unless you recognize that you have the trauma that you're dealing with and you can fix that, you don't even know you're doing it. And you have to work through that piece of it. The other part is to be patient. When you talk about be patient, there is no patience in parenting. I don't know where people get that from at all. I don't understand that. It talks about praying for patience in the Bible. And I tell people, oh, no, don't do that. Because when you pray for patience, you are tested. You are tested in that avenue. So I always pray to be able to just manage what I'm going to have to deal with. That's what I do. So all of those, anytime you're in those moments where you just feel like you're going to lose it, where you feel like you can't handle what's going on with your life, you just really have to take a moment in that gap and say, I have to be patient with myself. I don't know it all. I'm still becoming a mom. I still don't understand all these things, and I'm still learning. I am a mess in process. Let me tell you that right now. And that's okay, because God has it all. He's working it out. And I don't have to worry about the things that I did before, because I know he's got me, and I know he's never going to fail me and never quit me. The other piece is about being forgiving of yourself and others. And that's so key, because, God forgave us first. He is the first shining example of forgiveness in our life. And if he can forgive us, who do we think we are that we would continue to judge and harbor unforgiveness towards ourselves when we are supposed to love others like we love ourselves? We need to make sure that when we really let God forgive us for those things, that we give it all to him, and that we let him take it all from us, because that's what he wants. He wants us to have that peace and that hope inside of us to bring us closer to him and to bring that relationship closer to him, because that's what he's after, is he's seeking you out. And that's what he did with me for years. All of those things lead really to changing you as a person, and it just emulates and flows over in your life, and it goes out to everyone around you. So it's not just being kind to yourself or being patient with yourself or forgiving yourself. It leaks over into your life, and it goes, that perfume just aerates out, and it goes out into the world around you. And that is how you can show God through those actions to others as well. My fourth pillar, which is kind of like the sassy comes in at this point in time in the story throughout the book, because all of these are wrapped up into the book and all the different stories that we talk about. But the other one is just, be you, because I'm taken. And it's very real. I spent half of my life really trying to live up to an expectation I had of myself to be this person that didn't exist. It never existed, that perfect person of myself or that perfect version of someone else. I was never meant to be somebody else. I was meant to be my unique self, my individual self, fully operating in my purpose and fully being authentic. And I could not do that with myself until I dealt with my trauma and until I dealt with my heart. And that's hard work. It's hard work. And you have to get through that process and let God lead you through that and guide you in order to get to who you're supposed to be and walk fully in your purpose, in your authentic self. And that's really where, at the end of the day, when I wrote this book, and I hit send in to the publishers, I said, wow. And this just complete weight came off of out of me. And I cried and cried and cried because God had made a way, and he moved everything that was in my way so that this could happen, because it was the time, and it was time to tell the story now.
Oh, wow.
And it allowed me to heal.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take another break right now, and when we come back, we'll wrap this up, and I want to know a little bit about the show that you do, all right? Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows, and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. For a limited time, you get premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, and that's the lowest price in history.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night, and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com right now to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you can get my premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, the lowest price ever.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Welcome back to Faith Unveiled. We are here today with Andrea Holman. Did I say that right? Holman?
Yes, it's Andrea Holman. Yeah.
Andrea Holman. See, I said Andrea. It's Andrea. Andrea Holman.
It's fine, yeah.
I told you I have a tendency of missing it.
Yeah, you're in Texas, so it's allowed. It's fine.
That's true. And by the way, I just moved to Texas 4 months ago. So,
wow.
And I was told you're a former Texan, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'll be in Texas.
You'll be in Texas. So
yes, I'll be in Texas.
You have to learn to do this when you come here. By the way,
the bullhorns.
Yeah, this is what I learned when I moved here.
So all about Texas. football, so I'm good.
So I mentioned in the intro that you host a show. What show do you host?
I have a podcast. It's called Wake a Minute. And my podcast started out of the need to be able to share more in depth with the people who were following me, who were asking me questions online when I would post something on Facebook or on the website. And people would come out and they would ask me questions about this or that part of my life. And now having the book, it's the perfect segue to be able to share some of these stories that are just really funny in the book as well, to kind of dribble those in there. And it's really the opportunity to be able to say, this is a story that happened in my life, and maybe you have a similar experience. And I want to be able to take these little moments in our life that give us such great gifts that we might miss the first time around, that you can go back and you can look at it and say, wow, God really used this as a moment for me. And I know somebody else out there has this moment, and I just want to encourage them and love them and let them know that God's still wrapped up in it all, and even the hard moments.
Can you share one of those little stories with us, or do they have to buy the book?
No, yes, you have to buy the book. Yes, you do. You do have to buy it. But I will share one of the stories with you. One of the stories was one of the hard stories, and then I'll share one of the cute stories really quick. One of the hard stories was when my oldest son, Cameron, was born. He was born in emergency C-section, totally, completely unexpected. I had a birth plan. I thought everything was going to go great. Not what I expected, and it's not what I got, okay? I had a very difficult time bonding with him. And it took me a really long time. And that was one of the things that wasn't really talked about after the fact for the healing process either. I thought something was wrong with me. It's not that I didn't love him, but I didn't bond with him at all. I know he was my child, but I felt like he was taken from me, that I failed him, that I didn't have I didn't have a right to love him and to be his mom, to protect him, because I couldn't even protect him in the womb hardly. So I was having difficulties with that. And that's one of the stories that I share as well on the podcast too. There's another one that I talk about too. My dad, when I was really young, I was definitely the poster child for the leash that they have for kids now that they came out with like in the 90s. I was just a little bit too early for my mom and dad. I was definitely the poster child for that. But he took me to a state park, Lookout Mountain down in Chattanooga area. We had been there 100 times. One day he turned around and he's like, "Where's Andrea?" And my sister said, "She's over there hanging off the cliffside." And I literally was hanging off of a cliff, off the edge of it, in a tree. And I was hanging on to the tree because I had kind of like shimmied myself out there. So here's my dad, completely just, I'm sure, in gut-wrenching panic mode, but having to stay calm and remain calm in the moment because I was in peril. And he says to me, and I don't remember this, but this is what my sister tells the story, and she says this, that he says to me, "Andrea, you got yourself out there, now get yourself back." I mean, can you imagine saying that to your kid? And he is reaching for me like as far as he can, and he can't reach me. And I am slowly making my way back to him, and he finally is able to grab a hold of me and pull me in back to safety onto solid ground. And I talk about that in aspects of how God is always reaching for us. You know, even out there when I was reaching for him, I wasn't alone. God knew what was going to happen. I was going to be fine. But I was reaching and reaching and reaching to my Father, and how my dad in that moment was really a representation of God, and how he really is seeking out and reaching for us to have that relationship back with us. Even so, if you're a little lost like I was, I've had a relationship with God from a very young age, around the age of 6 or 7. And I kind of lost my way. And I think a lot of us go through those moments in life where we question what's happening around us. We question if God is really hearing our prayers. You know, we question, do I really even matter to him? Is he paying attention to what is going on in my life? Because it's too much. It's too overbearing and too hard. And that's where I was at when I found myself in the quit, in this moment that happens in the book with my son. And that moment completely changed the trajectory of our family and created new chapters. And even the hard moments through all of it, I wouldn't rewrite, because if you change one thing in that process, in that journey, you change it all. Right. And I wouldn't give any of them back.
So where can they find this book?
They can go on my website. They can find me at www.andreaholman.com. and they can find me there and reach out to me if they want to ask questions or want to invite me to come and speak or want to purchase the book. And I would love to have contact with them and have them reach out, and I'll answer any questions they have. They can find my team.
Thank you. Thank you for being on the program today and sharing with us a couple of your stories and, of course, your books. So I guess you are a hoot. What exactly does that mean, hoot?
It's just that you're supposed to be funny, I think. Like really funny. I don't know. I it's really funny. I think that's why, I think people get that, I guess.
Right.
That's what yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Just like you, I had problems sleeping. I tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. 15 years ago, I invented MyPillow. It took me 2 years to develop because I wanted to have everything you would ever want in a pillow. I made sure that you could adjust my patented fill so you could have the exact support you need as an individual regardless of your sleep position. I also wanted a pillow that would last, so I made MyPillow machine washable and dryable. I back MyPillow with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Not only that, I do all my own manufacturing in my home state of Minnesota.
I really like the fact that it was made in the USA. I think that USA products are a better quality product. I've tried a lot of other pillows and nothing's worked like MyPillow.
I'm interrupting this commercial right now. Retailers have canceled MyPillow, and to thank you for your support, I'm going to pass the savings directly on to you. For a limited time, you get premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, and that's the lowest price in history.
I used to think that sheets were just sheets. I got the Giza Dream sheets. They are the most comfortable sheets I've ever had.
The Go Anywhere pillow is so easy to just roll up and take anywhere I want to go.
The MyPillow topper, for the first time, has enabled me to have a cool night's sleep. I'm able to go to bed and just get rest.
That's 3 inches of wonderful that's in the MyPillow mattress topper. It's just like a firm cloud.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
MyPillow helps me get a good night's sleep so I can do my job in the morning.
Go to MyPillow.com right now to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. For example, you can get my premium MyPillows, regularly $69.98, now just $29.98, the lowest price ever.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Welcome back to Faith on Film. I'd like to invite you to check out my YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV. There you will find lots of great interviews with Christian filmmakers that have chosen to use their talent to create content that is good for our souls, that is healthy for our souls, that is good for our culture. Simply go to youtube.com and look for Faith on Film TV. That's youtube.com, and then look for Faith on Film TV. Also, would love to hear from you. If you want to drop me a note, just simply write me at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. And of course, you can always follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Well, remember, if you want to maintain a good, healthy soul, you've got to feed it some good, healthy entertainment. Until next week, take care.